holds. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. This unfortunate day, but we'll just make do what we have. So good day, everyone. Welcome to the Youth AI Lab talk. We are very excited to have you here. My name is Melinda. I am the president of Youth AI Lab. And so before introducing today's talk, I just want to give a brief overview of the Youth AI Lab speaker series, since we have quite a few new audience members here. For those who are new to Youth AI Lab and what we do, we are a youth-led nonprofit US organization dedicated to increasing student expert connections, AI literacy, and making high school students future ready. This webinar is part of our monthly speaker series to raise awareness of AI among all communities. So we invite experts from academia and industry to share their knowledge and discoveries in specific areas of AI. And unlike other technical talks, these talks are tailored to people without much background in AI. Therefore, they are fun to listen to and easy to follow. So we hope that by listening to these talks regularly, you can gain a solid knowledge of AI. So please also consider visiting our website at youthaI.org and sign up to receive announcements for other upcoming events like this one and other resources that we have. So we have hosted 23 fantastic talks so far since the kickoff of our Youth AI Lab speaker series. And we just kicked off our inaugural youth speaker series in March. So if you want to keep up to date with any upcoming talks or events, you can follow us on social media and register on our website at youthai.org. So our speaker series covers important areas of AI, such as efficient AI, graphics AI, cognitive AI, finance AI, as well as the other implications of AI. Our speakers are held in high regard in their respective fields, whether it be in academia or in industry. We have speakers from big players in industry, such as Meta, top AI universities such as Carnegie Mellon, MIT, UC Berkeley, and Stanford. And replays of these talks are mostly available on the Youth AI Lab YouTube channel, with the exceptions of a couple talks, which are unfortunately not available on YouTube due to company policy. At our last talk, it was marking the second talk of our new Youth AI Lab youth speaker series, which are cutting-edge AI-centered talks given by young AI pioneers who have made important impacts at the beginning of their career. These talks are to give our audience the opportunity to learn about the journey of young AI pioneers and gain valuable insight and inspiration of others into what a career in AI might look like for you. So for related. And for our next talk, would be a youth any youth.
So yeah, I think I will start the talk, and let's get started. Can everyone hear me? Okay, let me share the screen. Yeah, so the story I will share today is about generative AI and about our company. So the talk will be divided into three parts. The first part is about the landscape of the generative AI. And the second part is about how the generative AI will help to solve some of the problems in the marketing field. And the last part is how Akool provide different tools and different demos to help we do creative marketing and personalized marketing. And at the end, I will show a demo of the marketing example that we did together with Coca-Cola, and it's a live demo, so everyone can actually have a try. And first of all, I'll introduce myself. So my name is Jiajun, and I'm founder and CEO of Akool. And we do Gen AI technologies for videos and images for mainly the field of marketing, personalized marketing. And I've been in the Gen AI field for more than 10 years. We start with 3D, and it goes to images and videos, and enabling the auto creations and artificial intelligence systems is my dream to work on. And my background also involves some of the business side, so it's kind of combination of both. And let's go to the landscape of the field. So the AI, this is a new era of the AI creation. So before, what the internet experienced is the era of professional creation. When the internet just gets started, only professionals can create content on the internet. And there are less than 100 million creators now, professional creators, and they create very limited amount of content, and the creation is very expensive. And then it goes to the next level, which is user-generated content. When the Internet 2.0, like Facebook and the companies comes out, it goes to the Internet-generated content, and everyone is able to easily create content and upload, and the cost is relatively low. Still, not everyone is able to do it, and especially if you want to create some better quality content, it's still pretty hard for them. And now we come to a new era of AI created content, and it's really about everyone can create it, and it's fully automatic, and it's free, and also the content quality is much higher than the previous UGC. So we are approaching the professional created content quality. And so first of all, the image on the right is the image that created by our image generator, and you only need some simple prompts like baby Wonder Woman, and it gives you a great image like a professional shot. So what is Gen AI? So we go back to the problem of what is Gen AI. So the first wave of AI, like it starts about 10 years ago. People do perceptions or recognitions or detections, and they don't generate a big piece of data that human understand. They usually summarize data. But for the Gen AI, we create data that human immediately interact with, naturally interact with, like images, videos, language, and so on. So for the Gen AI, the thing is we really use huge amounts of the data, and we train our system and create the data again. So someone might have some questions. Yeah, so I'll answer the questions near the end of the talk, and so you can write down somewhere. And how the model works. Usually, for the Gen AI field, I'll give the example of the language models. Probably that's the one that people use the most. I know lots of students use language models to do homework, and they work pretty well. You want to ask it to write some articles or ask some questions. Frequently, they work better than Google. So the language model, how it works is it takes almost all the text in the world, including everything available on the internet and even almost every book in the world, and it put into a very large learning system that will learn the probabilities of how these languages are organized, and then help you to generate new language, new sentences. So it's a probability-based model, and the machine definitely don't have thoughts yet. Everything is based on probability. It's just the probability may be conditioned on a very long article, or it had a very strong condition. And because the internet is so big, because the language, the text, the training data is so big, even though it maybe just take something from somewhere somewhere and reorganize it a little bit. We don't know where it comes from. And it turns out to be really good. And they're saying that the large language model is like a JPEG compression of other languages out there. So basically, what the model does is it learns or memorize huge amount of data and then do some editing or language probabilities on top of it. And I'll talk about the left image here. So why the image is here. So this image is one of our users from Akool. They created something called the Lina World. And the Lina World is similar to, they want to make it similar to Marvel World. So, and it's a collection of virtual influencers. So they create this is the AI generated person. So they create a series of Instagram and TikTok accounts with the AI generated virtual influencers, and then use them to help us help create a world of Lina World and then build the influencer marketing efforts. And what is the capability of AI like? What's the capability of Gen? So we mentioned about text generation. It can help you to do lots of things, write articles, do marketing materials, and it works at Google. You can ask lots of questions, and it even works as can help you to do homework, right? So I think ChatGPT did a summary. So about 1/3 of the people use ChatGPT to write code. So they lots of programmers use ChatGPT to write code, and the 20% is about use them to do learning and education. Probably lots of people use it to do homework, and about 15% is used to do marketing. So coding is a big part, and the learning and education is a big part as well. So these are the top three usage of the ChatGPT. And besides the text generation, there are other things like image and video generations and animations and so on. These topics are much harder than text generation because the dimension of the problem is significantly higher than text generation, because each word is a unit. But when you go to image and video generation, each pixel is a unit. You need to generate every pixel. So the dimension of the problem is significantly higher. So it's significantly more difficult. And there are other things that people do, like creating avatars and doing digital clones of humans and so on. All of them are being enhanced in this generative AI wave. Yeah, as I mentioned, like coding is really probably the most heavily used field in the Gen AI, and almost 1/3 of ChatGPT usage related to coding. And actually, I asked some of the engineers at my team, and they told me that they use ChatGPT to help them to code, and especially they meet some problems they don't know, they will ask ChatGPT. And they write pretty good code. Sometimes you write a piece of code with a bug and you ask ChatGPT to help you to crack the bug. It cracks pretty well. And the next part is SEO. You write content and do SEO. And even on the music side, you can do ChatGPT and you create music with it. And the interesting thing is everything happens so fast. So about a little bit over a year ago, like the text to image creation, that is still not good quality, like still creepy, not good. But 1 year after, it's already creates very good images and very high quality. So this field is involving counted by months, 1 month, 2 months, or in some field, it's even counted by weeks. Like every few weeks, the market dynamics or new technologies, everything changed. And here is the things about the overview of how the market changes. So at the beginning, like early 2020, almost nothing works in generative AI yet. The technology is not there, nothing works. It only can do very, very simple tasks on the text and the code field. From image and video, nothing works still. And starting from the 2020 and goes into 2022, things changed a lot. A lot of things begins to work. It used to do like totally not working. All of a sudden, it begins to work. Like text and code, the language model works pretty well. Like by the end of last year, the ChatGPT is a global wave, and everyone go and use it because it works. And why it works? Most of the thing comes not because of the science change or because of these things. Majority of it is because of the engineering changes. So people are able to collect much more data and are able to scale their language models and other models to be much more larger and consume more data. And this scale change significantly change the whole field and enables the model to do much stronger. And what I heard is that currently the language model is already very big, right? They probably, the training already takes 10,000 GPUs, high-end GPUs or more to train the cutting-edge language models. And like one GPU costs you probably $20,000, and they are using 10,000 of them to train language models. So it's already at a very big scale, and they are planning to expand the scale 1,000 times in the next 3 years. And in this field, really, the engineering scaling is the power of the better system. And so that's why things are changing so fast, because during the last year or two, on the engineering side, the scale becomes significantly larger than before. And then we come to the 2023, the text and the code are already very good, pretty good. People are still trying to improve it, but it's already very good to do almost all the tasks, but still not AGI yet. Probably if they scale it 1,000 times, we will be closer to AGI, but it's not there yet. And in 2023, the images and the videos begins to work pretty well. There are a lot of things that begins to work, especially on the video side. Quite many things begin to work. And this field is very interesting because there's no field like the generative AI before. So for majority of the tech field before, the interesting thing is it's always below expectation. So people's expectation is always very high, but the reality is always cannot meet the expectation. A typical case is AR and VR. People's expectation is pretty high, but it's just hard to meet it. While in the generative AI, or until now, the reality is it's always beyond the people's expectation. It always goes faster and always beyond people's expectation. I think it's also related to the nature that the system becomes significantly bad along with the scale of the data and the scale of the computation resource. And the scale of data and the scale of computation resource can be improved pretty fast. And the science and the math is much harder, but increasing the scale is people are good at it. Okay, so this is a general idea of the landscape, and when it applies to the marketing and the advertising, there are a lot of things you can do when you are able to use these Gen AI technologies, such as personalization So before, when you send a marketing email or you send something, it's always sent. But now ChatGPT can help you to write a lot of the emails and the things for one person, one email, or so on. And also there are a lot of things that can be done with content creation, that you can create a lot of the creative images, videos, and share on social network and so on. Now with AI, you create the content much faster, and compared to UGC, it's easier and higher quality. And the thing is, some people are worried that AI is a threat. Like it might be harder and harder for people to find a job because AI becomes stronger and stronger, and it's harder and harder to find a job. But at least until now, I don't think it's a threat yet, because we are not even close to the artificial general intelligence. We are still, AI are still tools. They are still stay in the tool level. They didn't become stronger than just a tool. And what you need to do is really learn to use these tools and you integrate them into your learning and working and into this process, and it will actually help you. So some people says that with AI, so maybe you don't need to work 5 days a week anymore. In the future, if AI can empower people and makes the work efficiency significantly higher, probably you only need to work 2 days a week. So it really depends on how you use it. And currently, it's still just a tool, and just use it to your advantage. So the second part of the talk, I will talk about the business challenges in content creation, especially on the marketing side, and how we help the business, how we can help them. So let's come to the marketing side of the digital content creation. So for each company, about 10% of their budget goes to the marketing field. And within that, about 80% goes to the digital marketing. And for the digital marketing, almost half of the money goes to the content creation. They want to create interesting contents and good contents, so people will get interested. That means for each company, about 4% of their spendings goes to content creation, business content. And how are we able to empower this business content creation? It's a very big problem, and it's a very huge market. And here is some breakdowns of the cost for each marketing content that's being created. For language, it's relatively cheap, like $100, and it goes to all the way up to $425 when it's a video. So video creation is pretty hard and pretty expensive. And when we track back into the different content priorities, we see that like social media messages and videos are pretty high. And when you look at the traffic on the internet, 80% are about video content, like videos and images. The majority of traffic actually now is the video content, and it keeps increasing. So how can we improve the qualities in Gen AI in the video and video content? That's very important. And it's really a massive interest to use the AI to create these video marketing and business content. And with AI, there are several big advantages. First is it increases the quality and the consistency. So before, majority of people, they are not that good at creating content, and it's very hard to make sure that every content created is high quality. and it's hard to make sure that every content is consistent. And also, it's able to increase the volume and personalization. Like before, people use one video for everyone, but now with the AI, we can create multiple videos or multiple versions of one video for each segment of people, or for each people, we create each video. So that's the future of the content creation. And also, compared to the professional creation, it greatly reduce the cost of the production, and for each video, it's much cheaper. Yeah, so that's that's the second part of the talk, and we covered about the field of how the marketing field could adopt the generative AI content creation tools to help them to reduce cost and so on. And let's go to the last part, which is about our platform. So what we can do, what we can empower people to do with our platform. So you can visit us at akool.com, and we help to create lots of business content. And the most interesting ones are being used, the most ones are asset swapping in images and videos. You swap people, you swap face, you swap background, you swap objects. And the second one is digital avatar. So you can create a clone of yourself and then use that clone to talk about different things. And the last one is image generation and video generation. So from simple text, you can generate images and videos. And we really focus on the quality, because on the commercial side, quality is really important. And only if you have a very good quality, you are able to let people adopt it.
Welcome to Akool, your ultimate personalized commerce content solution. Whether you're selling products or services, personalization is at the heart of everything we do. With our advanced AI technology, you can customize your business content to reflect your unique style and brand identity. Our avatars are a standout feature, allowing you to showcase your products in the most engaging way possible. What color of shoes? They can speak your text in videos and even swap faces with yours to create a personalized touch. But that's not all. Our personalized AI copywriter learns from your uploaded writings and histories and generates product descriptions and marketing articles with your writing style. You can also transform your product images with our AI-generated content, whether it's fully new shots or background swaps, making your product stand out from the crowd. At Akool, we are passionate about personalization and believe that it's the future of commerce. We want to make it accessible to everyone. So why wait? Supercharge your business with Akool personalized content.
Yeah, so then I'll talk about some of the products. You guys are interested, you can go and have a try. So it's free trial. Just create an account and you can play with it. The first one is image generation. So you can input very simple prompts and they can create amazing images. It's actually doing better than Midjourney in several ways. First, it takes very simple text. You don't need to input very complex prompts. The second, it has very high resolution, lots of details, which is good for a lot of the commercial use. And if you are interested in Midjourney and playing with Midjourney, then you should also try out this. And here is a demo about the creation. Yeah, and the next part is personalized avatars. So you can use our avatars, where you can upload image of yourself and create personalized avatars with yourself over there and talking or discussing about different things. And here is the personalized avatar that you can take a look.
Hello, my name is Jeff. I would like to introduce you to Real App. It is a pair of our glasses that allow you to watch movies on large screens on the go.
Yeah, so this is the avatar I created for myself just from one photo. And here is another example of the avatars.
Welcome to Shake Shack at Stanford Shopping Center. Our delicious burgers and shakes will leave you wanting more. If you're feeling hungry, come by now for an amazing meal.
And this is another avatar that we created with Beyond first, and with the text to image generation, then we animated the avatar.
Hello, I am an avatar created by Akool Beyond Journey and animated by Akool Talking Avatar. Do you like me?
And this is our avatar also fully created. Even the whole background and the whole person and everything is fully created from myself. Hello, my name is Jack. Nice to meet you. Yeah, so that's about avatars, and you also can visit our website to play with different avatars. And the last one is about face swap. So we provide really high quality face swap solutions that enables you to handle very challenging situations. And here is a demo of the face swap. You can swap the face in the videos. Yeah, and near the end, I'll give a demo that we worked together with Coca-Cola, and it's actually a demo everyone can try on. So if you type cola.akool.com, and then you can create a video with yourself in it. And here is a video that I created with myself in it, and I'll show this demo. Yeah, so this is created when Coke and League of Legends joined and launched a new flavor called Coke Ultimate. And basically it enables you to put yourself into the world of League of Legends. So you can. It's still alive, and if you are interested, you can go and have a try. So that's all about this talk, and I think we can have some discussions and take some questions and so on.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much for the fantastic talk. And again, apologies everyone for the inconvenience at the beginning. Usually I like to introduce the Q&A and also give a warm welcome to the speaker. But thank you so much, Dr. Lu, for just getting started and dealing with the technical difficulties, everyone. So now I think we're gonna get into Q&A. For those who might have missed the link, I've sent it again in the chat. So we do Q&A on a platform called Slido. And then I think, I already see some questions filtering in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ask the first one. So one person is asking, we have a lot of questions about the face swap. So one person is asking, is face swap considered a subset of AI generated art?
Yeah, face swap is considered AI generated art, and also actually it's being used a lot now. One of the popular features in the generative AI, and because of the recent advances in the technologies, the quality of the face swap is already much higher than before. I mean, it was there like a while ago, but it just become much better now. Yeah.
For sure. And I'm actually wondering, because you've talked a lot about how the quality of this kind of generative AI has increased over time. I'm wondering, could you go into depth more about how those improvements happen?
Yeah. These improvements happen in several parts. The first one is the improvement of the architectures. Like lots of the transformer and diffusion models come out, and they improve the models. The second part comes from the computation power. So the GPUs are stronger, computation power is stronger, and people build a much larger models than before. So people now increase the models to be much bigger than before, and so on. They might be more computational expensive, but the results looks better. And the last one is about training data. More and more 4K and 8K videos available. And the videos serve as very good training data to help people train premium quality models.
Oh, okay. That's good to know, because I think definitely we've seen a lot of improvements throughout the years. Like when you showed the generated image at the very beginning where you had Mandela as a superhero, you can definitely see a clear contrast between the one from years ago and the one that was made more recently. So it's really interesting to see how maybe we can evolve data sets over time to actually make this more effective. And then also on the note of the face swap, we have someone else asking, I'm not quite sure what they mean by this. Definitely like deep fakes. They're asking, does Akool swap make deep fakes on people's faces?
So face swap, deepfake is another name of face swap. So basically, it's similar. It's another name of face swap. And what people do these days is, for lots of them, we are able to add watermarks into these videos. So you can even though when we see, we cannot see whether it's a real video or not, but we can pass it into machines, and the machine will tell whether it's a real video or not. And the deepfake is just a different name for this technology, because this technology is so unique. People care about face so much, so they made up lots of names for this. So.
Got it. And I think another question that I actually have is, I'm wondering, are there any ways to sort of counteract this technology? I'm wondering because there's a lot of instances of people abusing this as well for ethical implications. So I'm wondering, is there any way to tell apart what is a deepfake and what is not to avoid these kinds of situations?
Yeah. So adding watermarks to it. So we are currently working on that, and we'll launch that soon as well. So adding watermarks to it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you know if other companies or other programs that already are currently making similar technologies are also implementing watermarks?
So not based on my understanding. So there are several things that can improve the security. One is watermark. We are working on it to launch soon. And another, the watermark will not be visible by eyes, but they are visible by programs. One is the watermark, and another is basically when you want to swap some face, we just do a face recognition and a verification before you do the operation. That could also be a secure version of how it works. Like we need to verify the photo need to be taken from you, or we need to verify that you are there, then allow you to do the processing. But there are many things that we can do. Maybe makes it a little bit more, makes the process a little bit more complicated, but many things can be done to ensure like it's not being abused. Yeah,
for sure. I think it might make it more complicated, but I think it still is definitely necessary, because there are many ways that, because this technology is fantastic and it's getting, the improvements are amazing in this field, but there's also ways it can be abused. Apologies for the background noise. I had to move because the Wi-Fi in my room was not that good. Yeah, so the next question is asking, so of course, you mentioned this is definitely a very vast field, and it's very, there's a lot of opportunity in it. So I'm wondering, with a lot of competitors existing in this space, someone is wondering, how does Akool differentiate from its competitors?
Yeah, so there are two things, two main things we are working on. One is we really focus on the quality a lot, because in the Gen AI field, actually, there are very limited problems that people cares a lot, right? Like large language model, it's only one problem. And there are so many companies working on it. And on the video side, there are already lots of problems, much more than the language side. We work on the big problems and we focus on the quality. That's a big part. So because we are not like most of our competitors, they focus on entertainment. We focus on the marketing and the business usages. So quality is really a lot. And another thing is deeper integration with the field. So we are building infrastructures that integrate deeper with the field of the marketing. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's definitely a lot of places existing in this sphere. So I think quality is definitely one aspect that would set you apart. And then we have someone else asking, it's also about face swap. I assume they're asking essentially, like there's definitely applications of face swap, but can you give some examples of some practical applications, like in ways where situations in real life where it might be actually helpful?
Yeah. So so there are several things that we are working on, right? Like the Coca-Cola one is a case that enables you to go into the field, and we are working with the one car brand and doing advertisement on the cars to enable you get into the car and drive in different background near your home. And we work with some celebrities to allow you to stay together with the celebrity. And other things like when you do, so we see lots of people use it to create virtual influencers. So they maybe they create a face from their text to image or something, and then they swap it into different videos and create the virtual influencer, like the Lina World. What they did, they created virtual influencers of it. So lots of the pretty helpful and great use cases. Yeah,
Definitely. I think there's also some negative connotation out there, I'd say, regarding the ethical implementations. But I also think that this technology, there's a lot of benefits, especially with, like you mentioned, like entertainment and creative expression. That's a big one. I know you've mentioned like Coca-Cola as a company, and also with celebrities. I think it's definitely it's a pretty revolutionary way to actually create new things with different entertainment purposes, and also it can be used for like visual effects in virtual augmented reality with education and training. I think it's just
like someone wants to do games. So
yeah,
like in the game avatar doesn't look that good, and
yeah.
really render avatar is not that good. So they want to use some of the technologies to improve their gaming avatars.
For sure, yeah. And there's just so many good like implications. I think with all technologies, there's always going to be downsides and upsides. And I really think that it's important to all think about what the upsides are as well, because there's just so much untapped potential in this industry. Just to answer that question from one of our audience members. But moving on to another question asking, how easy is it to fool AI?
How easy it is to fool AI?
It's a very general question, but
yeah. In it depends on in which sense. So in
right.
general, so people are trying to make the system more and more secure, right? And it also depends on varies from system to system. These days, like face recognition system is pretty robust. It's pretty hard to fool now, but some other system, maybe they are still not that mature and still easier to be fooled. Usually the more commercialized ones are harder to fool, and the less commercialized ones are easier to fool. So it varies a lot.
Definitely. And I think in some senses, there's actually like with ChatGPT, generative AI, like there, I know some companies are also trying to make like ChatGPT plagiarism detectors, especially in the education space. That's also pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. So I think in that field, the AI is still not that mature. I think it's still
Yeah, for sure.
The likelihood to fool it is still pretty high. So yeah.
For sure. Yeah, so it definitely depends on the industry. Like seems that in your industry it's definitely a bit harder to fool the AI. But with ChatGPT it's still in development.
Yeah. That is pretty new. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And like with everything else, it's the technology is going to evolve over time, and we're gonna have more access to more data sets, and it's going to improve eventually. So and then I have another question. Speaking of chatbots, someone is asking, I saw there is a generator on AGI from the Akool website. Is that considered plagiarism as the AI chatbots?
So we didn't get into the chatbot business yet. It's mainly related to language stuff, but we do have avatars, and the avatar can speak, and you can connect that to chatbot. So you can talk with their avatars either offline or online, but our focus is not on the chatbot side. So
Definitely. I think it's a very different application because you're using it as a form of media and expression rather than just another chatbot. So it's definitely very different. And then someone else is asking, is it possible to teach AI empathy or ethics?
So I think we can build in the rules into the AI. Lots of the things. I'm not sure whether it's possible to build like very strict rules yet, but definitely you can build rules into it, and as it goes along the way, I think it's definitely will be possible to enforce these rules into the AI. But as I mentioned, AI is not AGI yet, so AI is still a tool, and AGI is like have thoughts. So AGI is called artificial general intelligence, and what that means usually means it already have some thoughts. but AI is still tools. So yeah.
Definitely. And also on like teaching AI empathy or ethics, I think it's interesting, especially if we're to relate it back. You probably know it's probably possible to teach it to express empathy, like for human expression, right? Like facial expression. I'm sure that's something you've come across when doing face swap or working with the avatars, especially since it's like usually when you're seeing an avatar, you don't want it to just be robotic, same expression every single time, right? That's not very human.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely there's interesting applications that like and also I have a personal question that's related to that. How exactly do you get the AI to sort of recognize human expressions when it's speaking?
How do we get AI to recognize the human expressions when speaking? So you mean we train the human expressions? So
Yeah,
that's actually pretty hard for now. All the human
definitely.
expressions and the body gestures and these things. I think that technology is still in development. So we are there are some early research about that. What they do is they can generate some different expressions, so it's controllable, but it's still under development. The quality is still in development. Yeah.
Yeah, and as always with all technology, there's always room for improvement, but it's definitely really amazing to see how far it's come already, because we definitely weren't able to do this, like, let's say, like 5 years ago. It was probably not very high quality, but what your company is doing is honestly amazing. I think personally, I think the avatars and the face swap, it already looks very realistic as comparison to many years ago. And then we have someone asking more on the company side. I think they're just wondering about your company as a whole. So they're wondering like how many employees does your company have? And they're wondering about like the paying customers. It's a little loaded. What are your financial projections for the next couple of years?
Yeah. So I can answer some, and if they are interested, they can reach out to me, and we can have deeper discussions. So we currently have about 20 people, and it's quite separated globally and located in different areas of the world. And we currently have like 5,000-6,000 of their business customers, mainly SMBs, very small business. And we have also quite a large customers like Coke and so on. Yeah, and our traction is financially traction in the close to B round traction. So that's our status. Yeah. Oh, you are muted.
Oh, apologies for that. And your company is relatively new, correct?
Yeah. My company is actually pretty new. It's a year and a half. And actually for the first half a year, our focus is not on the Gen AI. So it's actually
really?
new. Yeah.
What was the focus on then?
Yeah, so when we initially get started, we have our business is quite separated. So we have some of the Gen AI stuff, and we also have some of the security camera, so video processing on the cloud. So basically, we are building a video processing and the video generation cloud, and you connect to the cameras onto the cloud. We help you to process, or you upload your videos onto our cloud. We help you to edit the videos automatically and process the videos automatically. So we actually working on both sides. And near the end of last year, and we just fully focused on the Gen AI side.
How, like, if you don't mind me asking, how did you make the transition to generative AI? Was that a huge leap for your company?
So the thing is, we already have this business there. It's just originally our focus is on the other side, and then what we see the usage increased a lot on the Gen AI side. So before we already launched a bunch of Gen AI stuff, it's just our focus is not there. We we just put the tools out there, and it's all free, and people just use as they want. And we noticed a huge amount of people begins to use these tools, so the traffic comes themselves. So that's why and also the Gen AI wave comes, and then I moved there. But if you check my background, I actually work on the Gen AI for last 10 years, more than 10 years. So it's my field. It's just for a very long time, this field is not taking off. So we have a lot of things over there, but we shifted to that when we see things begin to take off. Yeah.
Definitely. And I do remember hearing about your work also with generative AI at the past companies you've been at. And I'm also so basically this switch was essentially, this new focus was essentially because of just going with the trends, right? It was the right time.
With the tractions we have. Tractions and trends, because we have all these things out there, and we see they are being used a lot, and the trend also comes. So yeah.
Right. And I think definitely a really smart decision, because especially it's been not that long, from what I'm hearing, since your company has been working in this sphere. So it's amazing how much work you guys have put out there.
So our focus on this is close to a year, and before we refocus to here. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, that's amazing to see how much you guys have gotten accomplished so far. And I think just also like, could you give a little more insight on potentially the other generative AI you've worked on at your previous companies?
Yeah. So my experience with Gen AI initially started when I was undergrad. That is 12 years ago. So I get to Gen AI 12 years ago. About that, at that time, what we do is we create 3D models. So you have hundreds of airplane models or chair models, 3D meshes, and then we use AI to learn from these models, and then create thousands or tens of thousands of new airplanes and new chairs. That's the initial thing that I get started with the Gen AI. And then we went to the image and video creation, mainly like you upload one image and upload one video. We will do automatic changing of that video and that image, and it gives you hundreds of different versions of it with different style and different stuff. And I spent my PhD mainly working on that huge topic, how to convert one user uploaded image and video into 1,000 different versions, right? And then I stayed at Stanford for close to 2 years, and at that time I worked on the cartoon generation. So you have a comic book, and we use Gen AI solutions to generate a cartoon from that comic book, and that's also a pretty interesting stuff. And then goes to the I think that's a main experience before about the Gen AI stuff. So yeah.
So you're definitely very experienced in this field. You've been there along the journey for the evolution of generative AI, essentially.
Yeah. So being on this journey for a very long time, and finally this field is like yeah.
It must be exciting to see the industry and field that you've been working in, that you've put your effort in to finally gain the actual traction and recognition that it deserves.
Yeah, that's right.
For sure. And speaking of sort of courses, we have someone also asking, I'm sure, we had two people asking actually, but I'll just sort of put it into one question because they're very similar. So they're wondering more specifically, so for computer science courses, more specifically with Akool, are the computer science course requirements the same as other AI field companies?
Oh, so you mean where we hire people, or?
I think they're asking what specific computer science requirements you're looking for when you're hiring, and
Oh,
if that's
yeah.
the same as other companies.
So, it depends on different positions, right? For the algorithm related or these related positions, we look for people who have worked for this field before, and the best case, if they publish some papers, that would be great. And
Right.
if they are not directly working on the core algorithms, then we definitely prefer people who write a lot of code, because coding is very important. So we do
For sure.
coding interview and algorithms and so on. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah, definitely. I would guess that it would vary for each field. And also just being mindful of the time. Thank you so much already for speaking with us. And it seems that we're getting close to, we've already crossed the end, but there are a lot of questions to be answered. So I highly appreciate all of the patience and taking the time to answer these questions. Just to be mindful of the time, I think I'm just gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna ask one more question. This is more of a question we ask every speaker, especially with the experience that you have as well. I'm wondering, so for someone, maybe a high schooler in particular, what advice would you give them if they want to get into AI in the field and the industry? Are there any recommendations or advice that you would give a student?
Yeah. So I think AI is definitely something that going to be used by more and more people, and it's not just computer science or just you want to go into this field, then you need to learn AI. I feel like AI is something probably everyone need to learn, and if you want to go into this field and wants to learn more, I think it will be very helpful. There are lots of online courses and online resources that you can get started to learn, and also lots of tools and lots of things you can use and test out. This field is pretty open, and even though the open source ones are not the best and maybe not commercial quality, but they are very good ways for you to get started, get to learn things. So if you like coding, then you can try out different repos on GitHub and learn different resources from online lessons and courses. Yeah, and definitely if you choose computer science as your major at undergrads, you can learn more. Yeah.
Definitely. There's such a vast field of resources that are out there already. And if you're really a student that's looking to get into AI, you're already doing a fantastic job, I'd say, taking initiative by being here and listening to Dr. Jiajun Lu's talk for today. And we really hope that you were able to take something away from this to apply to your own journey. And if you have any other questions for Dr. Lu, is there any way for our audience to reach you?
Yeah, so you can write me an email at Akool at lu@akool.com. I typed in the group.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. And for others who want to also get access to more resources, or also hear from other engaging and brilliant speakers such as Dr. Lu, you can definitely visit our website, sign up as a member, and if you want to keep up to date with upcoming events, also don't forget to follow us on our Eventbrite, where we do actively send out emails with details of upcoming events and opportunities. So, and thank you again, everyone, for being patient with my technical issues for today. And thank you, Dr. Lu, for taking time out of your day to speak to our audience at UKI Lab. It was we definitely learned a lot. Highly appreciated. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. And thank you, Dr. Lu, for your time.
Yeah, thank you for inviting.
Of course. It was an honor. Thank you.